The Clackamas River is a uniquely diverse river system. With its source high in the Cascade Mountains, the upper reaches of the river are part of the National Wild and Scenic Rivers System. At lower elevations, conifer forests are actively managed within the watershed, and dams provide power, while irrigation water is drawn from the Clackamas and its tributaries for agricultural use. The lower Clackamas River Basin is convenient to Portland and is developing rapidly. It offers breathtaking mountain views with native wildflowers and wildlife, and direct access for fishing, boating, and hiking. The Clackamas River provides drinking water to nearly 400,000 people. The Clackamas River Basin Council is an environmental nonprofit that engages communities and landowners in watershed improvement projects to ensure clean water and to improve fish and wildlife habitat in the lower Clackamas River watershed. No better way than by air to offer a unique perspective of several recent Clackamas River Basin Council restoration projects. At the junction of Mosier Creek and Little Clear Creek near Estacada is a magnificent working sustainable forest property that is part of the holdings of Port Blakely, a family-owned company for 5 generations. Port Blakely has a long history of valuing strong environmental stewardship and is working with the Clackamas River Basin Council to enhance nearly 2 miles of Little Clear and Mosier Creeks for the native fish populations that spawn and live there. This project was planted in 2018, and the native plants have already gotten a great start at creating a lush riparian zone along these free-flowing creeks. The forested slopes of the Clackamas watershed support working forests that can be managed to improve habitat for fish and wildlife, as well as produce harvestable timber. In the Sutter Creek subwatershed, small woodlot owner David Bugney has been proactive in managing his forest acreage to best protect streams and wetlands while reducing impacts from harvesting timber.
We became connected with the Clackamas watershed when we first moved out here in about 1990, and being on a creek, which is part of the Clackamas River watershed, that tied us to it. And so I've always been interested in things like that, so I read as much as I could to try to understand more about what the Clackamas River is all about, and that really got me enticed about it. The Clackamas River Basin Council has been of great help to us, and we first became involved about 9 or 10 years ago when they came out and they gave us seedlings to plant in the riparian area. But then in 2015, things really started to get going when they enrolled us in the Shade Our Streams program. And so we had about 1,400 feet of creek bank that was where we had exotic reed canary grass and Himalayan blackberry, where the folks at CRBC came out, removed that, and then replanted with almost a couple of dozen different native species of trees and plants and shrubs that we have around us here.
The open fields along Clear Creek North Natural Area stand out from the forested slopes around it. The land was farmed for many years, leaving very little riparian habitat along this section of the creek. This free-flowing tributary to the Clackamas River supports 11 different species of fish, including threatened species of Chinook, winter steelhead, and late-run coho. To restore the riparian habitat, the Clackamas River Basin Council removed almost 4 acres of invasive species and planted 9,500 native plants as part of Portland General Electric's Shade Our Streams program. To restore in-stream fish habitat along 3,000 feet of the stream, Clackamas River Basin Council partnered with Metro, the Oregon Watershed Enhancement Board, and the U.S. Forest Service. Heavy equipment was used to reconnect alcoves and place large wood logs to provide off-channel cover and reduce flow velocity during high water. As native plants mature along this section of Clear Creek, they will shade the stream, reducing water temperatures and providing cover for resident and migrating fish and other wildlife. CRBC's hard work to improve watershed habitat is expansive and is experienced by people in the region in so many uniquely different ways.